Okay, so when I do the joke, you guys fake.
Painting podcast.
And then she just took the belt off. So, if you want laughs like that, that's on our Patreon. Good ad? Or
yeah, very good ad.
Yeah?
Very good ad. I like that.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you get on Patreon.
That's
that is terrible.
premium clickbait. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the best kind of clickbait as well.
I think we'll get better at it.
I think we should more of the... Do you remember when I did that thing when we were like, we just do a soundbite where one of us goes, I'm never buying this thing again.
Yeah.
But we don't say what it is. Yeah.
Never mind what it is. Like, we just do that and then like, come to Patreon for all the juicy secrets.
Because we now have...
And I was like, oh my God, that's the best advice I've ever been given. ... And then we just fade to black.
And then with a logo of Patreon.
Yeah.
And probably like the amount of money it is.
Yeah. And like, come to Patreon, we will get naked.
It's the blur of OnlyFans and Patreon is becoming stronger as the days go on. Well, welcome everybody. That is, of course, the intro to the episode 13 of season 4, the best podcast probably in the world, and if I dare say, better than Get Good. So it's interesting that
what even is that? I mean, people talk.
I actually wouldn't know, because if I did, it would be better. I wouldn't. It doesn't hold up because anyway, fuck it. We are the three amigos two of us are from England, one is from Sweden. Arnau and I went to Warhammer World on the weekend, right, Martin? And you may or may have not known this.
I saw something. I guess I knew that Arnau was there because he posted a thing about the
little face,
about the little stuff, yeah, and it made me angry and jealous and resentful.
That's actually what he was.
Of course.
When he posted that, he specifically said, "I fucking hope Martin sees this. That little slimy little weasel cunt." And I was like, "Wow, Arnau, that's a lot. That is a lot." And he goes, "This little motherfucker thinks he can come to Warhammer." And then he posted the picture, and then he also drew Get Good's logo on the floor and then pissed on it.
Did he?
It's a really weird.
You bring one of those big graph markers and he drew the Get Good logo and then pissed on it.
Are we back to the gang wars?
I'll be honest, I'm bored of not having any kind of like
Nemesis?
spiciness. Yeah, do you know what I mean? We're back to our old days. Like we've done the bullshit now of Golden Demon and whatever that thing was we did before Golden Demon. And coincidentally, not to derail the intro, but I was reading on. I'm quite big on Reddit now, okay? I'm like the top 1% poster in competitive 40k, which is hilarious because I know nothing about competitive 40k, can I just say? But anyway,
I mean, you don't know.
Not enough to be the top 1% poster.
Well, I mean, you have the most important and amazing map in TTS in the whole history of humankind.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to say it, but yeah. It is.
But you wanted someone to say it.
It is that. Well, it's so good. Have you heard of this thing called Art of War?
Art of War?
It's a book, I think, from China or something years ago, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Sun Tzu's Art of War, yeah.
Yeah, which I've never read. But there's a YouTube channel which does competitive like training and shit like that. Anyway, they stole my map and just put their logo on it. So that's how good the map is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Pretty good, eh?
Damn.
Right, what was the point here?
A cease and desist. Oh.
Yeah, imagine for code that I already took from someone else. Admittedly, I changed it a bit, but yeah. So anyway, they were saying going on from the Golden Demon, although I do want to kind of leave a Golden Demon in the dust because it's beneath me. But all the entries are the same. Basically, the point they're making that it's becoming boring and vanilla.
But this was on Reddit.
On Reddit, have you heard it?
Oh right, I've heard of it. Yeah, I know
it's
that
actually
people
really
who enjoy chat groups end up on Reddit.
Yeah, I don't think the community is that nice, in all honesty. But
That's fair. So you found a post that someone was saying that the GD entries are all the same.
Well, it was trending, but yeah. Oh yeah. And I dare say I agree, and it makes me sad because if you go back far enough, 8 years, stuff was. I don't know. Did you have more artistic freedom? I don't really understand if it's true, but I feel like it's true. But I also feel like maybe when you get to a higher level, it has to be the same because there's less room to be, what's that word? Expressive?
Expressive, explorative, innovative. I think it's just the people think that that there are more constraints than there are. What do you think, Arnaud?
Well, it's funny that you bring this up because this was actually discussed yesterday in the GitGood channel as well.
Well, I'll pause you there. We spoke about it first because we are better than them, remember? So we've not been influenced. Just a king doesn't listen to his pawns. Do you know what I mean? And that's who we are. Ready, go on.
And I actually think it's a very interesting topic because it's like very complicated.
We don't have a meat of the day today.
We don't have a meat of it?
Well, we don't officially have a meat of it.
Well, we do have
many meats with Bo, right?
This is news, and it's an interesting philosophical segment in the news, right?
Yeah, it's the more interesting thing that happened in the painting wall in weeks, no? Because Golden Demon was not that much.
Exactly. We're staying on top of the latest and greatest.
Finger on the pulse. Should I quickly tell the listeners what we're going to do? Or should we just fucking flow with the row and go with the joke?
Go for it. Yeah.
No, you want to do your what's it called? Table of contents. Far away.
It is actually, yes. Curriculum vitae. We went to Warhammer World, crashed our car. I mean, someone crashed into our car.
Yeah.
I say ours.
Did they?
Yeah, it cost a lot of money. And the guy ran off.
Whose car was it? Was it a rental?
No.
Yeah.
A rental.
It was a rental. Well, yours was a rental.
Literally, why would I need a rental? I don't need a rental.
But because you don't have a car?
I do have a car. I have the car that got crashed into it. We've driven in that car loads of times. Unless it's a joke. I guess it's a joke. So yes, we were in GBK. We'd finished Warhammer 1 and we were dropping off Albert. Moretti
you brought him along instead of me. That makes sense.
No, he couldn't come. But we went to his gaff after to get a burger. And then we came out GBK and there were police everywhere. And we were like, oh, what's this? I was thinking they found my illegal stash of Warhammer in the boot of the car. Anyway, fucking huge smash in the car. Had smashed into the car in front of my car, a BMW, twatted his car, and then it turned out that 4 people ran out, a 10-year-old kid and 1 woman and 2 adults, and they ran away. And then the police lady was like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is the 3rd one today. Fucking hell. She was proper Cockney. And then she said that normally they run away when they're drunk or something, innit? And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, they've got insurance and that, but like they just don't want to get fucking caught. And I was like, wow, you're a really nice officer. And then we just hugged. And that was it.
I'm imagining a half troll, half goblin officer.
Yeah, she's more man than woman at this point, but she's lovely. So yeah, Martin, it was completely wrecked, and it's gonna put my car out of action for a while. I had to drive it to the garage, leave it there.
So I had to drive to Nottingham, and Jamie was all the time complaining, like a little.
It's true.
You're going too fast. Go slowly.
He doesn't do that.
No, but that's the good.
Is Arnaud a good driver?
Annoyingly, he is. Yeah, I was surprised actually. I'll be honest. I had him down as
That does not surprise me in the slightest. I can only imagine Arnaud being an exemplary.
No,
motorist.
I had him as a bit of a meek bitch driver. Do you know what I mean? Like he's doing 30 and a 60, and then he'll go, "Oh no, the floor. I don't want it's the rules." Something like that.
No, like many things in life, Arnaud is a subtle
expert. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. He's not a braggadocious good driver. He just knows his shit. He's a master of his vehicle.
I don't want to say I'm like the guy who knows about driving, right? Because I'm not. I fucking am.
Well, but, I've seen you navigate a big car through some weirdly uncomfortable situations.
I very much enjoy it. I have to say, Golden Demon, I am looking forward to getting that truck again. I did spend a lot of time. Anyway, look, it's not important.
Yeah.
But I do spend time in people's
still the
cars.
intro. Welcome to
the
thing. Yeah.
We're only 10 minutes in.
That's okay.
Sorry.
We've got another 1 hour 50 to fill. So fuck me in the beast. A lot of people like mince around when they drive. Like, did he beat me? Or is this the... Arnau doesn't do that. Arnau does. He is articulate when he drives. He doesn't like speeding. He doesn't like going through red lights. Sometimes he goes around the wrong way in the car park just to annoy you. So
it was not the wrong way though. It was the perfect way.
Went the long way. So if anybody wants to know, Arnau is probably going to do lessons as well as painting lessons.
Sure, yeah.
Arnold's
my side job.
Yeah. Well, it's only for painters. So it's a double, you double up, right? It's called Arnau's Driving and Painting School. And people are like, how do those things mix? And the logo is a car that's a brush.
That's how I train, actually, painting while driving. So that's why I got so efficient, because I can only paint on the red lights.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's hard when it dries out.
That does make sense. Yeah, insane queues on the motorway.
It is good to be back.
What did you guys do in Nottingham? And how was it terrible and lonely?
Well, you weren't there for one, mine.
Yeah.
So I mean,
we didn't go to a murder hotel, which is nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you stay in a better one?
We stayed in a fantastic over the weekend, obviously, and it was beautiful. I dare say, like the world is beautiful.
Did you go to Warm World to play Warhammer?
No, we are past that now, man. That we are this.
Yeah, I thought that was not it. It was a slightly rhetorical question, but I feel like sometimes people go there and they have like a point, like a destination to. Well, aside from just going to the museum, you've been there 100,000 times.
I think, and we will go more because we don't make it out of that first room. So basically, it was an interesting trip because normally. I'm kind of fired up before a little bit, like, yeah, I'm into painting and all this kind of shit, right? Whereas before I felt I had nothing. I'm balls deep, excuse the pun, in the map building. Okay. And Arna was like, do you want to, like, is it even? And I was like, no, not really. And I was like, are you? And he was like, yeah, I am actually. And I was like, all right.
It's like having a child to see if it reignites the relationship, you know. But yeah.
Well, so and it always does. That's the cool thing. It always works.
Well, we I was hold on. Fucking, I don't know who it was who complained, but some little shite complained on the what's that thing called?
Reddit.
Discord.
YouTube. Discord.
And they did complain about this. Hold on. Just wait. Oh, you guys won't be able to see anyway. Oh, fuck. Okay.
There's always someone complaining.
Right, wait for it. There you go. Fuck, the front row. Your names were wrong. Some dickhead was saying, Jamie's production shit. Like, fair enough, it is shit. Anyway, so. It's not that my mojo had gone. I mean, I'll be honest, it was amazing, mine, okay? I'm back into painting. I haven't painted. I haven't picked up the brush. But I'm up here's where the battle is. It's not over there. Do you know what I mean?
The last time before this time you went to Warmer World, you had an epiphany about painting.
It's amazing.
You went through Warmer World. You came in one side. You came out the other. You were completely naked, covered in gold paint, and your entire perspective was like different. This is the way you told me. You came out into the shop at Warmer World and you were like, I am a golden god. I'm going to paint 10 times better and more than I've ever done. How was this in relation to that?
Same.
Did you feel...
It was not the same, though, because this I think this epiphany in particular was not about Warhammer World.
True.
It was like Chinese and friendship, and you know, and then because the art appreciation you already came with it, right?
Yeah, it's painful actually.
And now we need a reason to put that into
That's
work.
true. That is true. So we've still got obviously Bo's questions Golden Demon being the same, Faction Feud, and Thought of the Day, and then quickly to go back. So yes, a part of me realised I'm not painting for anybody, Martin. Now, you might remember a few episodes ago that we said you shouldn't paint for anyone else but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I realised that might be wrong.
But it's not exactly that.
Oh shit! No, it's not. Go on, interject, Mr. Sir.
No. You
So obviously we came up with the now world famous, and probably Get Good will steal this idea because they're still fucking everything. By the way, just for new listeners who might think I am sincere in my mugging off of Get Good, I don't know them. I've never met them. In fact, I don't even know what they look like. But what I do know is they love banter. They love it. And that the more aggressive the banter, the more they like it. And their Discords...
As far as we know, that's true.
Yeah. And I've never issued an official...
Every time you do banter, we should put a sign. Banter. Caution. Banter.
So, just remember I'm English. Right, so... The thing that they was be bored, okay? Now, Arnau said it's bullshit and it doesn't make sense. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? It's the best catchphrase or thing I've ever come up with. Now, we've come up with a slightly better way of saying it, but we will be sticking with bit bored, Martin. Be bored. Pit bored. Okay, good. Now, I can't remember what it is, Arnau. Do you remember?
See, and this is one of the reasons why I said that it was bullshit. Is because you don't even know what it means to.
I do. I just have to get there. So being bored,
and it's extremely forgettable.
It's like
it just doesn't make sense. Like
so, it used to be bored, and now it's what?
No. It's going to stay be bored. So basically, be bored is the concept of you want to challenge yourself. You want to be...
Yes.
You want to...
not that.
Tell me what it is. What the fuck was it?
But
what was the
bored
other thing?
Sounds like it's something you're striving for boredom. That's not the point. The point was to recognize when you're bored.
Set yourself free,
right?
is the point. Oh, now, do you remember?
Kinda.
Okay.
not fully.
What was the be something? It was be
You're
like
always a good inspirational
intrusive,
speaker, or now.
It was... Everything came from the showing off versus doing something that you want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you said that you needed to erase all the noise of painting, which is showing off, doing.
It's techniques. It's. I'm like, okay, I want to learn N&M today. I want to learn how to do volumes. I want to right. So if you're bored. You don't have that thing. You sit down and you're just going to paint what you know, or what you think you know, and by doing that you're going to be bored because you've done that. Like if you sit down, Martin, now and do a Space Marine in heavy metal style, you've done that a billion times. There's no challenge there, so you're bored. Your brain is not engaged, right? So
it's true, and I can relate to that specific thing.
Very Space Marine. Yeah, it's oddly specific. So the concept is. If you are putting yourself in that situation, then naturally you will improve without going, okay, I want to learn this thing. You're bored and you will naturally learn to push your boundaries. And if you don't, then quit painting because you've got no place here.
That's that drastic, yeah.
No, but just do like army painting or something. Move to China.
Move to China seems like a good place right now. Move to Shanghai, build your own house.
Is something wrong
a lot there. Yeah. Do you what's that? In China? I don't know, there's no war in China just now.
Okay.
Did you want to interject something or now? Did you have a point to what Jimmy was just saying?
It was also I told him about how when I went in my honeymoon in Bahamas, I was 2 weeks in the beach, and I was very bored. But at the same time, it was very motivating or inspiring, the fact of being bored.
See,
because there was no noise, there was nothing to do, and everything I wanted was to paint and do something. So it relates a little bit to it. I don't really know how. What
was this? It was be not impulsive.
We said aim to be bored. Or
it was still 2 words, but the second word had changed. It was be, or fuck it, who cares, isn't it? Basically, the point is, if I just sat down and painted, let's say, okay, and I had no conceived ideas of what I want to do or be, or I'm more likely to sit down and actually paint. And then by being bored of painting, I will naturally have to improve myself or change or do something. Whereas right now I'm like, oh fuck, oh no, this is too hard. Oh no, I can't do that yet. So all this bullshit that I've got going on, if I'm just be bored by sitting down and being bored, I will inherently do more. So I will get that on a t-shirt, one of the 8 t-shirts that we promised to have made, but no one will do it for me.
And then on the back, I'm not really sure what it means.
So. Or just a confused face.
Yeah.
And it could be bored or not.
I mean,
just leave it open.
Yeah, or don't. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, exactly.
20 minutes we have done this intro. I dare say this is the best episode we have ever recorded.
The longest intro for sure.
It's an ongoing top 10 list.
So, yeah, thanks, mate. It's probably because we've only done 10 episodes. I suppose we did season 3. Right, some other news that I've been itching to talk about, but I've not been able to. I could save it for next episode.
Yeah, you could. Of course.
Good. Right, so
a week away.
Let us jump in to the episode.
The Reddit post with the golden demon shit.
That's the meat, though, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, that could be a meat if you want.
So
yeah, kind of, I guess.
Well, let's fucking do it, right? Look, hold on. Do we have? No. This is what you're gonna get. Oh, it doesn't work. Have I muted? What the? Fuck it. I tried to do a sound, the jingle, but it didn't work. Hold on, let me. Okay, right, fine. Well, the jingles don't work, so go fuck yourself. Dr. Lovebrush. Now, this is a segment where the users of our Discord, and probably Patreon, because we're trying to make money. We don't care that much about the show. We don't care enough about the show to do it. People writing questions now. Bo, B-O, positively not B-O, has been writing these questions, and they genuinely are now 14 months old. I guess they're 6 months old. So if you ever have questions that you want these two here artists to answer, then please join the Discord and let us know in Dr. Lovebrush. We will be bringing it back. I haven't created the threads for it since literally 13 episodes, and these are even older than that. But now that we're through here, we will have cleared the backlog. We're back to the old hating on Get Good and making great content. So we are back, and these might be rehashes. Somebody else might have done them, but Bo, thanks for your questions. We do care, just not enough to have done it earlier. So what is your process before? Yep.
When are we going to talk about the Reddit post?
No, because that's the meat of the day.
Okay. And we do it at the end?
The meat of it. No, we'll just jingle it in. Like, we'll just fucking do a couple of these. I don't want to get too bored because there's like a fucking lot of questions he asked, to be honest.
Well, some of these questions have extremely quick answers, and some of them deserve longer answers.
And to be honest, I don't like to put a label on it now.
Yeah, I know.
Except specifically when we do meat of it, at which point...
Yeah, we'll get back to Arnau's Reddit post, and it will be the...
I mean, to be fair...
this episode.
Arnau, if you want us to do the meat of it now, I'm out. I am genuinely happy to jump in.
I don't care. I just thought that you were talking about it, and then you jumped.
Yeah, the only issue is that we've postponed answering those questions for 6 months. Yeah. We should do a couple.
He deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, we should. We must.
Should we just find a reason not to do it? Like maybe the recording breaks or something. Going to be like, well, sorry, Bo.
Surely he's left by now. Like, he's long gone. He's deep in the Get Good camp.
I mean, and rightly so. They actually do listen and do professional content. I heard they do interviews.
Who knows what they do? I've no idea.
That's why I love them. Because they are just
I'm pretty sure it's guys. A cult. I'm pretty sure they're doing something criminal.
The fact that they've got a Discord with members on it, but the Discord's private. Alarm bells ringing.
What did I say?
Ding, 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 ding. It's yeah. I don't want to say, but I think it is probably that.
Yeah.
What you guys, I deliberately paused it while I said the word, so the viewers won't know that I said necrophilia. So I think that's quite clever. Right. So, what is your process before you put paint on a model? Now, this is a fucking huge question.
Yeah, it's huge. That's what I'm saying. Like, this deserves the process before we put paint on a miniature. I think
this is a meat of it. This we've done this, and I think it's okay that we do it again.
Yeah, but let's try to keep it like slightly concise. I think we all three of us would have slightly different answers, but there's a little bit of like a cop-out answer to what you do before you put paint on the brush. If I'm doing like commission work or box art for, let's say Games Workshop box art, so heavy metal stuff or whatever, then the prep work will be done either by me or someone else for like the range.
Oh shit!
So it's much less about like looking at what's that?
Someone else would prep your models at GD.
No, it's prep work as in. I guess
of course, research.
The question isn't prep work like prep work. It's what's your process before you paint? Light direction, color choices, etc. So he's not talking about gap filling. He's talking about color ideas. I mean, all that stuff will be kind of worked out through like lore and what range it is and whatever.
I've got
I feel like specifically with like light direction, color choices, I think Arnaud's answer will be more interesting. Well, color choices for me will be usually like what's the main color of the miniature and what's going to work with that. What did you want to say, Jamie?
So I think what we'll do is we'll give quick answers to all of these, like a minute or two. Then we'll do our meat of it, because that might take up the rest of the show. And then what we'll do is the listeners, so all 6, I guess, probably less now because we've not produced any decent content for months.
3 or 4, obviously,
they can say what they find interesting, and then we will literally do meat of it, because we are struggling for content. We are like in the trenches right now, so that's why we're bringing out this shit. No offense, Bo, they're good questions, mate, but so
it's actually good questions.
What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, that's good.
So do you want to answer that question?
Me?
Yeah, of course.
Oh right. Well, it's not helpful. What's the process before I paint a model? There, done.
Yeah, you don't.
So spray it black. I sit down. I go, yeah, fuck. I mean, is it red or black? Okay, cool. Let me look at this magazine. I'm trying to get there. I know the answers to this, by the way. What Arnaud will say, Martin less so, actually. Well, I suppose, as you say, the prep, but let's pretend you are doing the prep, right? Not that somebody else has done it. Like,
yeah, sure.
Arnaud's going to basically say he tries to imagine a scene, he likes to put himself there, thinks of like what could look interesting with this model, how it's maybe not how it's feeling, but what he's trying to portray, like light sources. And if it's in a battlefield, it'll have this. If it's in a dungeon, it will have different lights. It will blah blah blah. Right. So it's just mimby pimby bullshit. And then Martin, I guess you'll go like, fuck, I've got to keep it how they want it, and I need to come up with a decent color scheme that sells the model well, and I need to do some mock-ups on Photoshop, and then we can discuss in a meeting.
Pretty much. I think light, when it comes to like heavy metal painting, is much less of an issue or a thought. There's obviously light, otherwise they would just be black. But there's much less of a discussion of where the light source is and what the light source is. It's always going to be the same kind of light source. It'll never be like this particular guy's in a dungeon or in the middle of the night or lit by a candle or something. But then all the questions really relate to like the background, the IP and the lore, and then color theory, color schemes, what works together and what doesn't. And Photoshop sketches are really good for that. Some questions will be answered pretty quickly. If it's a Space Marine chapter, they'll probably already have loads of colors established from previous iterations. And if it's like a brand new AOS army, one thing I've thought about a lot with any army really is like, before they did the colored backgrounds that they do now for the boxes, where like all the new orc stuff has a green background and all the Black Templars have a purple background and whatever else. Before that, it was really just like the same color background for the boxes, and then the army would have like their own color. And I always used to think how important that one color was to really essentially give every army like a very clear visual cue. And whenever we did something new, then there needs to be something new. Like for a while there were, you know, Chaos Space Marines and Stitches of Battle that were like exactly the same colors. And for someone who's brand new to the hobby, that might not be instantly recognizable as two different things. Where like the Tau army was white, and it's the only army that's very clearly all white, so you could like identify that. Anyway, that's I always thought that was like an interesting starting point. Sorry?
Basically, it's like marketing at that point almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're thinking about it from like what it looks like in the store as well.
Yeah, and how easy it is to paint and how shit Tau are and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. My answer will be mostly exactly what you said. In that I also put the references, because you may think about you left an integral part.
That's such a big go on, do it from the top so people believe.
So when you want to paint something, you want to paint, you should want to paint it for a reason, because you want to create something, and this something can be more complex or less complex. If you want to make it more complex, you need to answer all these questions about what type of light, what type of ambient, what type of mood, what's the character, what's it doing, you know, because at the end of the day you are trying to paint a picture. Even if it's a 3D picture, you are trying to paint a scene. And I always think about this as giving it a reason to. Why should I paint just a character that's posing? Like I'm like he hired me to paint him in the sense, you know, like a general of an army that's too proud. And then when looking at references, something that happens is that you find things that you haven't thought, and then it's like, oh, I like this a lot. Then I will add it to my idea. Or then, oh, this is much better than my own idea. Then I change it. So doing research of things, it helps you evolve your idea and make more stuff or complex stuff. But yeah, for me, but the before is a lot more important than the during painting. It's what sets up the whole, like, it's what sets up the success of the piece.
Where it's a fucking meat of it. I need to avoid the questions. It's like fast as a race car, semi.
Well, I mean, it's not, but
like, it's only more like, at what point were you doing that though? Because it's only point? Like, at what point were you thinking that philosophy? Because for me, painting at the moment is more important than the feeling. Now, I'm going to argue, I'm playing devil's advocate because I kind of disagree, but like, you can only say that when you're good, and if you get good, it's really easy to do. But if you're shit, okay, and you can't even really paint, I'm not talking like splodges of bullshit, I'm talking like starting out maybe, but decent level, you're not going to be able to fulfill your dreams and your thought processes because you're not good enough to put those on a model, right?
I understand, but I think this is actually a massive deal. Why? How are you going to learn to do it if you don't do it? So,
exactly.
If you don't do it, you will never, because then you are getting caught in that loop of not doing it, and then you get good on the branch that is not doing it. So I actually think that it's very, very bad for you to not do it.
Yeah.
Because all these questions that you are trying to ask and answer before doing, they are just You are just trying to solve problems beforehand. It doesn't need to be extremely complex. You can still do it easy. But if you solve your questions, you will have no dilemmas, or you will have a more specific idea, or thinking, I want to do this character because, I don't know, it's a battle scene, or is he just posing?
I've got a really good thing to add to it. Yes, is first of all, be bored, and second of all, it's so much easier in my mind to have an idea about, let's say, a single figure in a battle, or in a pub with some lights and a campfire, and you're worried about the scene more than you're worried about how perfect it looks. Like, it's a million times easier to paint something with that in mind than it is to paint something, I want it to be fucking perfect, I want it to have this N&M, and that's just been unlocked in my brain. Because if you're bored, I probably copyright that or something, but if you're worried about the scene and just roughly it looking better, you're not bogged down by all the bullshit that you've created in your own head beforehand. I can't do this because of that, and I won't try that because of this.
And those shackles of perfection actually change your outcome completely. It makes you go in a safer route,
which might lead to our meat of it. Golden Demon will looking the same.
Oh, that's actually very true.
Potentially, yeah.
Good link,
good point.
Yeah.
I am a professional talk show host for a reason, boys.
Arnau, I'm wondering, when you, let's say you're painting a bust, like never mind what it is, and you have 0 colors set from there's no artwork reference, there's no request from any client or anything like that. What would be the very first question to answer in terms of color? What would be your first, not just like something vague, like where are they, but what would you want to set first?
I mean, I understand your question, but this question comes after the character. So first of all, should be who is the character? What is the character?
Yeah.
When you know what is the character, then you know more or less other questions come after that. So, for example, with the blue lady I painted not long ago, Skadi, before knowing that she was blue, she was just a girl with a mohawk, right?
Yeah.
But then who is she? She's Skadi. Then you look for the character. The character is blue or pale, or and then you know that she's ambient in cold. Then you know that the colors will be cold. Then this leads to that. If it's another character that has no reference anywhere, and you just have to decide or create, then you have families of colors that you can use, or but it also depends. Do I want it to make it moody, so darker? Do I want it to make it more saturated, so I want to play with more vibrant colors? So all these answers come after the what character do I want to portray.
But and it sounds more like there's never one specific color choice, but all of the color choices together. Is that what you're saying? That most of that stuff will kind of come as a package. So with the blue lady, all of those kind of color choices and mood and atmosphere and temperature and all those things, that was all one decision.
For sure. Yeah.
Sure.
But interestingly, I think that's probably the biggest breakthrough we've ever had on the show.
Oh, is it?
I think so. Maybe.
Why?
Don't paint what you think you need to paint. Paint what you feel you need to paint.
Develop that, please.
I think I need to learn NMM. I think I need to learn volumes. I think I need to learn how to paint white elf skin.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like I want to paint an elder running through a battle scene with some explosions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the scene. Fuck all the other shit so if I'm bored, let's forget be bored. It doesn't work anymore.
I fucking said that.
This is more important, I think.
It's more like fuck showing off, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, just
I think Arnaud's been touching on, well, we have a million times touched on this, but it's just this idea of technical pedantry, which I think is great once you've got all the other stuff in place. It's almost like if you can get your idea across the way you're imagining it and the atmosphere, and you can really get a good sense of atmosphere, then you can spend ages like glazing and touching up and and finishing everything as good as you want. But if that's where you start, is like making, I think that's what you're getting at, Jamie, is like if you start with, I'm going to make this axe into the best NMM I've ever done.
Yeah, you've failed already, right?
Way too small.
You
failed already.
I think technique's a lie. I honestly think it does, like, it's the least important thing out of everything.
This is very much the school of Arnaud. So I think Arnaud's appreciating you're saying this, but
but he's also like, I told you, but you know, it means
he has
only
also
taken 6 months. But is this what Alfonso Corrales has always been? Is this what really fuck Smoothness at the core of it was?
Yeah.
Fuck! I did an interview with him. Sit gone.
No. I mean, fuck Smoothness. It's exactly that. It obviously needs a lot of nuance
and
but it's the fact that if you concentrate in technique, what you're doing is you're forgetting the big picture. And if you're forgetting the big picture, then you are just showing off little, so the skill, which is very important. And it's in a sense is understandable, because we all want to, the first thing that we want is to be able to do things properly. So we pursue that technique. But then what happens is that we get stuck there and we forget that there is a whole world of artistry, let's say.
It's blowing my mind. It's mind blowing. So lots of things in my head right now. I've liked artwork recently. There's a couple of artists that I love, and I don't know their name, and that's not important. They probably didn't want me to know their name. Their art moved me, okay? And I look at a lot of it, and it's a lot more loose than anything that we'll ever do in Golden Demon or on some people on models, but generally, right? Golden Demon's not that important, actually, in that case. And I've always wanted to recreate it. Like we spoke about it, people walking down a field and stuff. But actually, there's no reason I can't do that on a model, except obviously the model is a specific model is already written how you want it. But if you create a scene with multi-kit parts, you can do what you want, basically. And the feeling that you can portray is totally up to you. It's almost like you are the god. He said that before, Martin. Now, it hadn't clicked. It definitely hadn't clicked. I sat down to do those Elder, and I was so focused on where the volumes are and stuff. And don't get me wrong, when you paint, you still need to make stuff work. Otherwise, it's going to look shit, right? But it will come by proxy. If I want a bloke sitting in front of a fire and it to feel how I want it to feel, the fire needs to look relatively realistic. Whereas the technique's not going to get me there. There is no technique on that, right?
One of the things about Cksmoothness as well is it tries to get closer to the actual painting, to oil painting, or if you see people paint in a canvas, you see how they don't go, I mean, mostly they don't go and just draw everything and then put a lot of effort in something and then put a lot of effort in something else. They just do blocks of color, right? And then they keep refining these blocks of color and make them more precise. So it's the same that happens here. If you have a guy sitting in front of a fire, are you going to start painting the foot how it should be? then the calf, then everything. And you are not going to do this. What you're going to do is you are going to put orange in the whole front of the guy, because that's what will happen. And then you are going to go from the general to specific. Once you have the whole area of orange, you are going to be, okay, now that I have everything that's orange, I'm going to go smaller. And this way, you are doing the same process as an oil painting, just blocks of color. And it's actually so much quicker to paint like this. So much quicker.
Well, I'm excited to paint, which is a little bit worrying because I've got to do this TTS map. But it also, I just realised it sounds like the last 20 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we've just been bashing like the opposite style as if they're opposed. But I guess they are different in intrinsically what you're looking for. And I think my first 10 years of painting was to do Golden Demon. And I fucking loved it. I like that 100 times more than I'm liking.
I don't think you mean Golden Demon. Do you mean Heavy Metal or Games Workshop?
I was trying to win Golden Demons. So I was focusing on that, which meant my natural style would be what I'd grown up with. So yeah, Heavy Metal or Golden Demon. Or
but you did actually mean Golden Demon.
Yeah. Like, and I loved that more than I've ever loved the current thing that I'm trying to do. But I don't know if following that led me down to where I'm at now, which is the I need to get better at N&M or this blah blah blah, right? And like those things will come out naturally anyway. I think when you try and resolve a feeling, you will need to practice, but it's less focus on right. So it comes by proxy, but it's not so much like fuck, I'm paralyzed by this thing. It's like I'll paint and then I'll get here and then I'll ask my friends for help or blah blah blah. So I don't know if that's why I got stuck and stopped painting, but yeah, I think they're just, as we've said before, they're just two different things, aren't they? I'm only putting that in there, that I'm not trying to shit on all the stuff that people are doing at Golden Demon.
No, of course not.
However, I think it's also it's also important to, I think, acknowledge like what I'm now saying with, or what we're saying with idea before technique, or the ambience before the technique and all that stuff. It's before, but it's not instead of. I think practicing technique and refining technique is still worthwhile. It's still a good thing to do, but it shouldn't be like, it's exactly what you were saying with painting that scene in someone in front of a fire. If you start by rendering the knee and then the face and then the sword and whatever else, like that's not going to be as efficient. And especially if you start with maybe not a fully formed idea, and you just you're just painting something like in a vacuum, and then you start to think about where to set that scene. Because I think there's like good ideas, bad ideas, and then absence of an idea. And that's kind of the thing that I'm mostly afraid of, isn't having a bad idea, but just having none at all. And the stuff that I find least inspiring from like Golden Demon is where it's just like a thing that's just painted. And I honestly, I include a lot of my own work there. I think the thing I'm least happy with about my Space Wolf squad is the atmosphere and the base and the setting, which I feel is kind of bland. Like there's nothing really going on. So I'm very happy with the work, but that's the one thing that I wish I could have delivered something more interesting, is like the atmosphere. It doesn't feel like they're really doing anything. Which is also because it's a unit. It's not a diorama, so that's fair. But that's kind of, it's a spectrum, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not like I chose to go down a different route, and therefore I'm exempt from having any atmosphere or any.
Do you not think that if you had put any kind of like Tony's base, right? Tony is TK Minis or something.
Do you mean the Nurgle stuff?
Like he created this amazing base, and it was trees, and it was a unit, but he didn't get dick, right? Obviously, won. You did win that year, actually, I think, or maybe the year before, but in the same event.
I didn't win the year he did his Nurgle guys. I didn't win anything.
Yeah, it's the year before, fine. But so had you made that Space Wolfy and slightly more narrative driven, you might not have won, right? So it's like
Maybe, but it depends on what you mean by like Space Wolfie. I don't think that they're always. I get what you're saying,
maybe,
but I think
you do
like an ambitious base. Yeah, something like that might have been more interesting. I think it's more about the impact with units than the narrative setting or anything like that. I think you can create something that's more interesting and present the unit more interestingly, but it doesn't have to be more of like a scene. I was actually thinking of loads of ways I could introduce more narrative, but chose not to because I didn't want to turn it into a diorama. It's always tempting to add like dead guys and explosions and things. Not explosions, but you know,
exactly
ambience.
the point the Reddit was making. I think that we don't know, obviously, but I think that you doing that unit and winning, and the models are painted extremely well. So it's like it deserved to win. But if you took those exact same models and changed it, might you have not won? We don't know. But the point is, that was where you got to in your influence, and you see more units either like. Well, actually, in fairness, you see a lot of units just on plinths. So yours was already a departure from that, right? I think you do see some units like yours, but generally there's definitely a formula, and I do think that, and that's kind of like where this the Reddit post was going. Yeah, like there is a formula for a reason, right?
Exactly. There's a formula, and I think more specifically, there's a precedent. People always look at what's been done before as a reference for what to do, and
Albert
not
bases,
to sound like some cool punk or anything, but I genuinely look at stuff that's been done before to know what not to do almost. Again, not saying that I'm like I do the most original shit, but there's always going to be like someone will have done something and maybe done it really well. That informs me like, okay, let's not do exactly that then. And I don't want to do something that clearly reminds you of someone else's work. That seems like a terrible idea.
Or it's just
well, that's boring. Either I'll just look like I'm biting someone else's style, or I'm just like I'm afraid to do something that's different, or even if it's like more bland. I don't know. It's weird that people would want to go down some established safe route because, well, clearly that worked for this guy and he got gold. It's like that's not a good reason to do it again.
I don't know if you read through the post, through the Reddit post, but it was very polarized. How one side thought, and obviously it's more people who is not a painter who thinks that, which is the side that thinks that everything looks the same and the styles are just becoming one, and then the people who has the eye more trained, they do see the differences and they defend that there is more differences. But I think it's worth listening to the other side that thinks that everything is becoming the same, because they say it for a reason. Obviously, they don't know as much as we do, but if it's blending in their eyes, it does mean something. It means that there's less jeopardy in the proposals for GD, even if obviously we can pinpoint an artist in a second when we are there. But it's that need of perfection and rendering what makes it more homogeneous,
boring.
I mean, it depends. If you are not into it, yes, boring.
Yeah, because no, go on, finish the thought.
I mean, for me, Golden Demon doesn't inspire me as much because it's not, the proposals are not my jam, right?
Yeah.
But if they are, then obviously you are in your own sauce.
There are a lot of pieces like Golden Demons that do inspire. It's not the right word. I'm like, holy shit, that's good.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Like,
and it's not absolute, obviously.
Yeah. But I think I've said in the past more so at Golden Demon than at Monty, right? Which you would argue Monty favors more expressiveness because they don't penalize you for having 10 models on or whatever, right? There's no real rules. You can there's a category for everything, but still Golden Demon is much more heartwarming. No. makes it sound like a love story. It's much more. I like it more. There's more pieces I see that are like, oh shit, that's fucking good, and blah blah blah. And whether they look the same though is it. Also, I don't know at what like period you go back, but I feel like it's natural human nature that, like we said it last episode, Albert's piece is inspiring bases and Chris Clayton's style, right? Like it would. I don't know if they're like you, Martin, and they're not trying to copy. That makes more sense. I don't think people are like, oh fuck. I think they just see it and they like it and they're like, I want to go that way, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think both Albert and Chris Clayton have influenced the last few years massively in style, massively.
Yes.
And obviously, every single painter has their own style, and you can identify it, obviously. But they are in the same bracket of things in a sense. Like, there's no outlandish proposals or very different. Some are, like, for example, Caja. Caja has a completely different style, right? But it's it's one in a million. There's not that many people who has proposals like this.
And it's pretty rare that you see Golden Demon entries where you might actually know instinctively who painted it without the name. Like, her stuff looks like hers.
Did she do the Night Goblin?
I just checked out a bit because I was literally reading on Reddit on my phone what people were saying. So I just wanted to double check what was going on. But Islak are now saying it's very polarizing and a lot of assumptions from people who don't seem to compete themselves.
Yeah. But if you go back in the past before internet and tutorials and everything, right? People found their own style, and the way they were really influenced was by White Dwarf. There was no other way. Right? There was literally no other things in our industry hobby that had 25 years ago. So people still had natural style, so there was more of a swing. And probably internet and people winning and consuming and looking at these pieces in great detail would be my guess into what's influenced. And that's why when we saw Boho's Magnus, it was like, fuck. It was shocking because it was a huge ass conversion, and the paint style was so different from what you normally see. Whereas David's Dragon on a House, like, I saw it in hand now, a photo of him holding it. It's much more impressive in hand, and the colors look a little bit more saturated and contrasty, blah blah blah. But it was still a dragon that you've seen loads on a model that is from GD. Versus a complete scratch built fucking cliff full of snow and shit. So you had extra difference in that, and Lucas's horse, the Pegasus rider, and probably even that duel where you had we didn't cover it except for in the Patreon one, but the knight versus I think it's a griffin, maybe. No, the griffin's pinned down in the other one. It's a duel. It got silver.
Oh, it's the Skaven thing.
Now, the one before that, the Skaven was silver, and the one guy on a horse fighting in a little, I guess it's diorama maybe. Anyway, so there's not many pieces. Or a better example is the Custodes. Yeah. That piece is different, but what won was a completely generic thing that you've seen literally a million times. And so...
But the painting of the Custodes, I think that it fits on the category of
similar,
expected proposition, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't take away that it's freaking amazing. It is, but it's not. It's a rendering, right? It's It's how.
How do you think that would be different? How, like, that specific piece? I think a lot of people would argue that's a different technique.
So
I don't actually think I would. I think there's a point for most of the Golden Demon entries this year, I think, were essentially what we're used to seeing, including Borja's thing. Like, that's pretty similar. But how do you think, like, the Custodes model would actually be different?
Imagine it. Translate this into we are very used to seeing different styles in 2D, but we are not used to seeing them in 3D. So if you think about, do you know how when there is an illustration, and there's different styles like anime, and then cartoon, and then we are realistic, and then oil painting, and all these very, very separate styles.
Yeah.
Try to think about this in miniature painting. So one is hyper-realistic rendering, which is what we are doing. But are we doing the brushstrokey oil painting? Obviously adapted to the size. I absolutely think that we have to adapt it to the size. Are we doing cell shading in Golden Demon? We are not. Are we doing something more abstract in colors like caja? Generally not. So it's about this box of painting realism in a lot of codes. Painting realism or rendering realism that we don't think about going out. So yeah, it's a guy in a gold armor, but what else could it be? How could we represent this other than just trying to make a normal metallic? And of course, the first step would be to add more complexity with lights and ambience and all these things. But we could also change the size of the brushstroke. We could change the contrast, for example. The Craftful Studios. Craftful Studios have a very specific style. You can like it or not, that's fine. But what they do is they don't play with reality, because they put one color and then they put another one and they create contrasts, unexpected contrasts. You could do that too. Or you could, I don't know, paint in black and white and then red like Sin City, for example, right? You could do any kind of...
These would get banned in Golden Demon for sure.
Wouldn't get banned.
No, but
they wouldn't win though, would it?
They wouldn't win, of course.
You know what I think it is? I just realized this. I think it's exactly like MMA. Because in MMA, originally, and I don't know if this is specifically like UFC or just MMA as the sport, but essentially you could show up, and this used to happen, and just be a karate black belt and just do karate. And then someone else could be into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then someone else could be just a boxer, and they were just a boxer. And over time, it's essentially been boiled down to what arguably is like the best combination of techniques and the most efficient, and that just ends up being the same for everyone. Yeah. So it's efficient, it's the top and level, bland, and that's the best. And it's unfortunately objective how that is now the best. So now you have every fighter. Someone might be more a Muay Thai fighter, someone might be more of a wrestler, but they're going to have a combination of those styles. So it'll be like wrestling, Muay Thai, BJJ, boxing, and that's, and there's, if someone shows up who is like a sumo wrestler, that would be, I don't know, a novelty, and they would probably get defeated. I feel like Golden Demon now is the same thing, where there's a few things, like if you paint the way I do, but you're like way better at NMM than I am, then you'll probably do pretty well. And by they, I mean, we know, we talk about this all the time. The judges are not the same for every year, and it's not, they're not as conservative as people think they are with like what they prefer, but we do end up seeing a lot of similar things year after year. And I think it's essentially that. And like, not in a good way. I totally 1000% agree with you, Arnau, that it would be so much more fun to see bold, different styles, but that would be too dangerous and too weird for people. I think that there is this sense of efficiency that is prevalent right now.
It's interesting though, because I would argue that Clayton, I mean, he's been there for fucking years, right? The longest probably out of everyone. But that big twat that he did, the sword, I would argue was a departure from the norm.
Absolutely. It's a great example.
Like, so
how
I think
how is that differently painted?
The technique is very different. It's bland is a rude word. It's flat. It doesn't have these edge highlights, these crisp, sharp contrasts. It's muted tones.
It's not even trying to paint lights and shadows. He's just trying to represent materials, which in a more drastical way. Like if something's shiny, he puts gloss varnish. If something
and he actually made his own metallic paint to look like actual metal. Yeah,
it's the closest hobby or style to painting ships or
yeah.
You know, you are trying.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's like military modeling because it's essentially, it's like you said, he's not thinking so much about the light but just the materials. Exactly. That's true.
Yeah. And sorry, I was not making I was not making a point about being it better or wanting it, but we were discussing if it is happening, and I do think it is happening in a way. It only depends on how much broader our vision is of what things could be. If you understand miniature painting and you don't like anything other than rendering, then of course it's fine. But if you are more interested in, you know, brush strokes or whatever.
But it basically takes these pioneers, people who are bored of the status quo and how things are going, and they have the talent also because Chris obviously had that, right? But if you took away the conversion and the base, he's not getting anything for that painting for sure. He did the painting is part of it and it's part of the piece, but everything else is also mind-blowingly good. And I was trying to think of like examples of people, but like even Thibaut's entry in America felt a little bit different, and maybe Andy with that weird bloke and the Persian guy with all purples and stuff. They're slightly different, but not that different. They're not like huge departures, but they're different from maybe your squad that won, if you get what I mean, like Thibaut's is. But it's not something that you can go, holy shit, that's really different, if you get what I mean. You just need some weird visionary who's got excellent execution and likes their art.
To be fair, I do think that most of us paint in the same bracket of styles. Yeah, there are different styles and nuances, but we all want the same.
Yeah,
and it's not like we depart. And I understand that someone who is not used to having his own head on his butt like we do, because we are self
masturbating.
What?
Masturbating, like we circle jerk.
No. Well, masturbating is
that what you meant given, I guess. I thought you meant like we all love our own sound of our voice kind of vibe. We are. I can't exactly that word, but it's like a closed loop. We feedback.
do and we watch what we like, and
it's a feedback loop.
It's a feedback loop. Yeah. So I understand that someone who is outside this loop doesn't see what we see.
Self-perpetuating, is that it?
Yeah, exactly. That is what I was looking for.
Self-perpetuating community.
So yeah, I can understand the point.
I mean, I agree completely with it. Yeah, I like, and that's why when I go to these GD competitions, I'm amazed by a dog trainer running through some holes, some pipes, and I'm amazed by some super cool conversion, much more than I'm amazed about. Like I saw another Reddit post, because I'm on there now all the time, I'm top 1%, I don't know if I mentioned, and they were saying like, oh shit, that must have taken you hundreds of, or like taken you fucking years to do, right? And that was the metric of what's cool. So I'm imagining that.
Yeah, the measurement. I completely agree. If I'm just looking at like almost stepping outside of myself and watching myself react to things, I'm noticing the way I react to conversions and even just ideas is like way stronger than
oh shit.
Fancy
ideas win golden demons.
Yeah, and I think especially for the fact that, again, technique can still be something that's way beyond my own reach. So it won't be like, oh, I'm not interested in this because I can do it. It's like I've seen it and I can understand it better. But conversions, I'll be like, fuck, that's such a clever idea that you had.
Yeah, and then
or
you,
like,
then
oh,
you
you
chastise
you
yourself.
saw this bit and you did this whole, you extrapolated this cool idea around this one component. That's the stuff that I really get excited by. But that's really kind of subjective. I don't see why necessarily like the competition would go in a direction that awards stuff like that.
I think it's harder to award it maybe, but also you have these amazing ideas where the execution technique wise is not as good as a piece that's flawless and they've clearly spent 1,000 hours on. So they're like, well, fuck, how can I, in Nottingham Golden Demon, you had the Space Marine jumping out of a window of a high-rise building onto a jetpack, right? And you're like, fuck, and he's done that, and it's forced perspective.
The
right?
forced perspective,
it's fucking brilliant. I don't think he won. I think he might have got commended, but it's like,
no, that was bronze.
Oh, amazing.
Maybe, yeah.
Nice. That won't beat something that's really well rendered. Basically, I don't, and I'm not saying it should or shouldn't. Maybe it's no. Like, I understand it. It's the judges will do it, and every single year without fail, if we have different judges, you'll get different results, right?
Yeah,
just like guaranteed. There'll be some that are just clear winners, sure, but generally.
But that specific one is an interesting example because a lot of the other entries in that category were. So like Chris Clayton was the gold winner in that category. So essentially that's, the discussion is for like, right? What do you, it's the sword. Yeah. But like what else is going on for silver and bronze? And I was in that category with my Imperial Fist Slaanesh thing. And that's another one of those great duels of models just standing next to each other. Shouting, which is not such a great idea, perhaps. Idea-wise, that wasn't really... That's what I was talking about with like the lack of an idea. It wasn't even a bad idea. It was just...
But in 2012, they were winning. Those duels were winning, where you had people...
Yeah, for sure. And the painting of that would have won Slayer Sword in 2012. Like, that's still... The quality of that was nice, but that's like 2 heavy metal painted miniatures on like a cool detailed base, but they're sort of just standing there. Whereas the Space Marine jumping out of a window was an idea, and it was not as well rendered, but it was a cool idea, and like, that's what was rewarded.
I'm with
you. And
now.
I can definitely see why it was. I can see why they went with that,
But also, to be annoying, the judging panel at that year was very forward thinking, maybe less worried about marketing and
I think that's true.
So so maybe years down the line, aka 2 years, the results might have been different, and it sadly, I mean, we can only complain as much because it's their product, so they are doing what they will do. But it does slightly frustrate that it's not a competition for the people; it's a competition for the business. But we do still love it, and we go every year. And
of course, and it's completely valid to play the game. Like, it's not. It's something that I did not quite understand was why is such a bad thing. I mean, we do want to appeal to the judges in the best possible way and try to do this in the most neatly perfect possible way. So it's normal that we all converge into the same style, or it's a broad style, but it is a style.
'Tis indeed. I am glad that we are here again together and talking about stuff.
So that was the first of both questions.
Yep. Well, it was meat, Bo. It was Bo and meat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we segued into the meat, which was a good segue.
God, I'm good. I'm fucking good. Do you know, sometimes when I wake up and I just think I don't, when I hate life, I just remember how bloody good I am. And I'm like, oh yeah, life is amazing.
Because I make it so.
Because I want it to be. Here's another one for you, okay? What would you do for like 10 million quid?
10 million?
Yeah, someone's just like, here's 10
What
million.
would I do?
Are you saying like where's the limit?
Yeah, like, there's like you do almost anything for 10 million, right?
Very close to anything, yeah.
Yeah, not killing or slicing people's fingers off and stuff.
Killing?
Well, I don't know, man.
I'll kill for 500 pounds. Fuck it. I mean,
right. Kill a bug. And then if you think like, so you do anything for it, but would you not wake up tomorrow for 10 million, 100 million?
Not wake up tomorrow?
Yeah. So you get 100 million
What does that
now, and then tomorrow you don't wake up. You're dead.
You're dead?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I know.
Yeah, no, of course not.
So what you're saying is, let's go back to 1 million quid. 1 million, right? Your life is worth more to you than 100 million pounds, 1 billion pounds. So actually, the greatest gift you're ever going to get in your entire life is just being alive. Nothing money can ever buy is more important to you than your life. So if ever you're like sad or bullshit, try to remember, like you're worried about money or you don't have this thing, just your life is more important to you. Okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Well said.
Yeah. So, do you take photos of your work mid-process to easier find potential problems?
Yes.
What? Can you repeat that?
This was Bo's second question.
When do you want to go to the... Do you take photos during in your projects to try and find issues?
No.
Okay, good. Next.
I didn't think Arnaud did. I do sometimes, especially because I do sometimes like Photoshop sketches to try out freehand and color scheme changes and shit. So
I mean,
yeah.
How could I see it better than in my hand? You know.
Oh shit.
I mean, no, like it's not a stabbing to anyone, but like, yeah, I just have it in my hand so I can see. You know.
Martin,
I used to look out. What's
your
that?
screen's wobbling for some reason. Is there an earthquake?
Oh, sorry. Fuck. I used to do probably before I started using the magnifier glasses. I would take photos to see if like things like eyes were actually if it actually works what I was painting.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember this one time at band camp when I was. Do you remember that? Is that American Pie?
American Pie.
Yeah. Fuck.
This one
We
time
used to
at
say
band
that
camp.
all the time, and that shows that I've grown up. Arnaud was painting a model, and then we went to the cinema, and then he came back and he went like this. Wait, I need to see the hand. And he went, yeah, I thought it was off. He goes, that's been bugging me the whole film. And now I can fix that. And he goes, just from here. And he's like, yeah, cool. So I don't have that in my repertoire yet, Martin, either. But he backs up what he's saying with real life bullshit.
With obsessing and not enjoying a movie.
I think the film was shit, by the way.
Which film was it? Godzilla?
Oh, possibly. It was in. I mean, actually, Godzilla was quite good.
Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
We left the cinema saying this is the worst shit.
No. Wait.
We did leave the cinema saying exactly these words verbatim.
But yeah, go on.
Then I thought maybe it's not that bad.
No, we said how good he felt, how big and scary. But we said the acting was the worst acting we've ever seen in a film in our lives.
Yes,
and it was terrible. Like,
isn't that with the guy?
Every Hollywood film?
Yeah,
but it was not Hollywood.
No,
are you talking about the Godzilla from like 10 years ago?
No,
nah, probably 4, 5.
No, less. Godzilla -1.
Yeah, basically it was like
-1.
It was the original, like the first time it ever came out, not quite a remake, but a homage of someone else's perspective of that, and they spent their entire film's budget on one scene at the end. And
the explosions were amazing.
Yeah,
the best explosions I've ever seen.
All their money went into that, and they were like, "Do you act?" Just a woman on the street. She's like, "No, right, you're in the film. Come on, you've got the lead." She's like, "Oh shit!" Like her whole family's just been nuked to death, and she's like, "Oh no!" Like that, basically.
It was like anime, but in real life.
I think anime voice actors are better. Right. Is looking at figures in black and white a good way to assess the overall lighting and value range is good?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Tick. Well done, Bo, mate. How much do you study real life? Fuck that. It's too long. And we're going to save some bows for later. Because we've still got to do Faction Feud, boys.
Yeah, sounds good.
We've still got fucking thought of the day. We've still got task motherfucking-masters. Okay?
Oh, shit. Yeah, this episode is still...
We're 1 hour 20
3 hours long.
Right? Fucking hell. Okay? I'm a Greek.
Yeah.
No, I'm Italian.
Yes.
Right. It's close. They're both Mediterranean.
Yes, very good. So is Arnau.
Yes.
Saved it. Really?
Yeah.
Even though he's
very
from the
much
UK.
so.
I don't believe.
Little my city is in the Mediterranean.
So, really?
Yeah, where Arnau was born is literally
It's
you're
hot.
drinking the Mediterranean Sea at all times.
Even when you're breathing.
Yeah.
I recently found out that Iran is not Greece.
Iran is not Greece. That's right.
Yeah.
So for those
Honestly-
of you following at home, the geography lesson of this episode is Iran is not in Greece.
It's because they both stick out. So I thought that was it, but apparently Iran isn't tiny like I thought it was. Someone was
it's not
like,
that tiny.
some guy from America was like, I'm going to fuck up Iran. Okay. And then I was
think that was
like,
their president.
probably. I do actually know, obviously, fully about him. But I don't know if anyway. And then I was like, well, it's fine. It's tiny. Like, just go and get the oil and then they can leave, right? I was like, I'm not a politician. And they were like, what the fuck you it's not tiny, it's huge. I was like, no,
Iran
I'm
is actually huge.
pretty sure it's tiny. And then I pointed to it on a map and he was like, that's Greece, you fucking dickhead. And I was like, well, I knew that when I zoomed in and saw it. Thank you. But then I went to a map without names.
It's interesting that it would be fine to bomb it into oblivion because it's small.
It was, yeah, right.
Or if it was Greece, for that matter.
Makes it worse.
The official standpoint of this podcast is not that we should bomb Greece.
No, I have many
into disappearance.
Grease friends. They're just covered in grease.
It's just a greasy bunch of people.
How much you study No. Are your processes the same regardless of scale you paint? That's with a thick Asian accent.
That is very much an Arnau question. I've literally just finished one model of a different scale, and the process was a little different.
I
But I'm
think
very
I'm
much
going to
still
answer for
practicing.
him without him knowing.
Yeah, fire away, Arnau.
I refuse to paint at the big size. He won't paint my
Nice.
30 centimeters. No,
Nice.
it's boring for me. He is technically it's the same. Like volume is the same on all scales, and the feeling is just when it gets bigger, it's more boring and harder. You have to refine in more places slightly. Oh, now?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. It's
Okay.
true, but for me, it's the same. Yeah.
Oh,
One day, you should
Voice over you.
do an imitation of me. Like try to.
I can't do your voice. Try to do
Yeah, you
this.
can. That was
It's
perfect.
fucking hello.
Arnau.
I know I can say Arnaud.
Arnau.
It's a thick Austrian accent. I mean,
Austrian.
do you?
Should we do an episode where we're just imitating each other? That'd be good.
I mean, how the fuck are you going to do Arnaud, and how am I going to do you? I could do a Chinese accent, and that's it.
So exactly.
Jesus Christ.
So Chinese.
But I cannot do the. You could do. All right, mate. You fucking little twat.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
Swede,
exactly.
the thing is, you don't have traditional talk like this. That's you, Martin. When you got that little. That's Indian, but you've got that little
God's
fucking.
name.
Now you are Indian.
What the fuck just happened now? Was that something Swedish?
Yeah, they talk with this fucking little shit. I can't do it. You talk with that. They have this weird pronunciation on words. They kind of spits shit.
It's an accent.
Yeah, but it's the Denmark Swedish accent.
What? We have a different accent because our
Same.
languages do not sound similar. Swedish and Norwegian sound similar.
I honestly thought
Actually-
Norwegian was Denmark.
Martin
quite-
doesn't have that much of an accent.
That's
at
what I'm
all.
saying. How the
Yeah,
fuck can you?
yeah.
You can't recreate someone without a twatting accent.
Appreciate it.
I could redo MG.
MJ.
What's this?
Mike?
Yeah.
I don't know. him, so-
LJ?
Well,
Yeah.
the joke is he's Asian. He's from China, but
The joke
just,
is that
he doesn't have
he's
an
from
accent.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just sounds
So-
like he's from Manchester.
Look, it was just casual racism, all right? And you brought me up on it.
We appreciate casual racism. It's friendly. It's
I do
it's
love
fun.
it. when I was younger, no one was racist towards me. They were just, he's a white guy. And then as Poles became more prevalent in the UK, the endless jokes about me fixing their sinks and doing painting and odd jobs around the house.
What kind of name is Hutber? Is that Polish?
No, it's the Polish name was I need to get my Jobczynski. I've butchered my own pronunciation. Hutber is, my dad loves genealogy. He traced it back to London in 1640, and then it died. There's no more trace of it, and loads of Jews came over there, and we were massively Jewish. And it's probably from Germany because loads of the Jews left Germany then.
Okay, cool.
Good. TNM or NNM?
Wow.
This is a tough one.
Is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm much more into TMM than Eminem. Or TMNT than Eminem. I think Eminem is a fine MC. I don't listen to any of his music. I know that he's a good rapper. I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for just nostalgia. Was that the question?
Exactly. And interestingly, I use Eminem to prove that I'm white.
That's good. That should work.
People are like, they'll listen to my playlist and be like, that's a really black playlist. We're like, hold on. And then they'll be like,
hold on.
5 Eminem.
Nice.
You should put Taylor Swift.
That's how you know.
Nah, but I want to still be into rap when I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
So.
If Bo thinks that we're going to start some shit with
NNM or TMM?
Either or NMM or TMM. I
didn't realize there was a choice. I thought it was just, if you're good, you'll do NNM, and if you're bad, you'll do TNM.
That's 100% the case. That is also
it genuinely.
Read more about that on our Reddit posts and argue with us about that.
When I first found out,
paints NMM is better.
It's only at that. When I first found out about NNM in 2017 or something, I was infatuated by it, and I was like, whoever does that is a god, right? And I looked down on the Tumnum, and then I started seeing more and more Tumnums like in pieces without realizing that it was there, and you don't even know, right? But you still like the piece. So in a weird way, NNM and Tumnum, NNM only works if it's good, and if it's not good, it ruins fucking everything. Whereas Tumnum,
completely agree.
It never ever looks out of place unless you have a piece that's like super fucking weird, complex, and then you just bash it. Like you lose control. But generally, Tumnum, I'm like, it fits most purposes much more.
Yeah, I agree. I think NMM is much more unforgiving, and if you do it well, it can be really obviously look amazing and really add something. But it does tend to be something that draws attention, either because the painter wants it to, or because people looking at it are, like you said, kind of infatuated by what a cool technique it is, which is a little strange and interesting. I reacted the same way the very first time I saw NMM. I also thought like, wow, what a cool, crazy, different, special technique, which is a little different to how it is now.
Yeah. Well,
what do you think, Arnaud?
Oh, I mean, it's one of the reasons I am a professional painter. I think it's one of the things that made me want to learn actively. And I think the sky, the ceiling is endless. It's literally the sky.
Literally the sky, yeah. Damn
it. But I do love pieces with TMM. And all my army is painted in TMM, and the Kilakan also is TMM, and I love it. So I
think one thing that I appreciate with metallics and TMM that I still try to I think it's probably not the same kind of ceiling as with NMM, like you just said. I think NMM still has a bigger range, but I think when I started working for heavy metal, there was never really any discussion of should we use metallic paints. That was always going to be the case. So the next question then is like, how do you make that look as interesting as possible? and keep making that look interesting and add lots of contrast and color. And I'm really glad that that was a challenge that was like set before me and that was being worked on and still is, because I do think that there's a lot of things you can do with metallic paints. So actually, I really tend to sometimes when I meet people and I do classes and shit, I get a sense sometimes that people are like, one of the things that I want to, finally move on to is like learn how to do an MM. And I always say that, like, that's totally fair and you should do it, but that's going to be really unforgiving. I think what Jamie said just now is actually really a good way to frame it, is that metallic paint never really looks out of place. Whereas if you do a shitty NMM, especially something big, like you want to do the whole armor of something, and it looks gray and blotchy, that does look out of place.
And the light sources.
Or what?
Simple non-metallics for me are like, it throws me off.
And now I'm starting to look at, and honestly, I think this is 1000% just the Arnau effect, because I'm starting to look more and more at smooth NMM with just a little more of a stink eye. Like, I'm like, is that is that what I want now? Is that I used to, it's weird. I think no, you don't think it's weird, but I think it's interesting that I think this is my opinion now, and that it's something that I'm not just trying to think what you think because you think it, but you've definitely kind of opened my eyes to like looking at NMM differently. And the more and more I see now of smooth, shiny, perfect, clean NMM, I'm like, it's not looking as right as it used to.
Yeah,
it can look good, but it doesn't look right.
I think it's important for us to get those mistakes, though, as a community, right? You have to go there to come back. We don't know, and then you explore. Like, we're just doing what painting did for over 1,000 years in like 15, 20 years, because we've already got all the experience. Like, I learned it on my Azurman. I think the N&M I did is the weakest part of the whole model, and I don't regret it being there, but it's like yellow and weird, and the placements aren't right. It doesn't follow the flow, and like, I was thinking about it while I was answering, or while you guys were talking. Like, if I did that with Timonum, I think it probably would have taken away from the piece, but also maybe not. The fact that I wouldn't, because it's a bigger piece. It's like a 120 real life, 13 centimeters. Like, if I just added that and then added some highlights in there, I don't know. But definitely right now with what's there, it's kind of shit compared to where the armor looks okay and blah blah blah. Like, that's like,
I think the danger of the TMM is that it's very easy that it doesn't add anything.
Yeah, it's flat.
It just completes the piece. It doesn't detract, but it doesn't add any anyway.
Yeah.
And so that's the danger. Doing a good TMM that adds something to the piece is difficult, obviously. Same as it is difficult to make an MM that doesn't make you want to put your eyeballs out.
Good, right. Thank you, Bo. We will continue your messages. I mean, Dr. Lovebrush questions another episode, because I am.
I've got a quick one. Wait. I've got a quick one. One of his questions that I know he wants answered. It's going to take seconds. He's asking about my proprietary patented satin varnish mix. It's AK Ultra Matte. It's Vallejo, what's it called? Polyurethane gloss varnish, because that's just what I happen to have, gloss varnish. And then it's a bunch of Lamian medium, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Lamian medium. I think those are the only three. Basically, the ultra matte is just ultra matte. Lamian medium is slightly satin to begin with, but it's just a medium, so it's not quite enough to do anything. The polyurethane gloss has a real thickness to it, gives a coat, and then obviously the mix is what makes it satin. I use that through the airbrush on a lot of things I paint to give it like that perfect even.
Is this
so
what you
now
do on
you
all your
know?
models, then?
What's that?
Is this what you do on all your models?
More and more, more and more. I just found that it really helps to set the finish. If I've done a bunch of glazing, particularly with things like like Space Marine armor and stuff. It's great if I've done a little bit of touching up and glazing, and if the base coat that I used has a slightly less matte finish than the touching up little dots that I've done in a certain light, you can get little weird reflections. I mean, I'm talking very, very like minute details, but if I just put the thinnest layer through my airbrush of this satin varnish, then that'll sort it all out. And if I've been using like transfers and stuff, I'll probably want to airbrush some satin varnish anyway. And instead of buying something that is called satin varnish but is usually more gloss than I want it to be, I just made my own.
Yeah, I usually make my own as well with that.
Yeah?
Something. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Instead of Vallejo, I use the, what's it called? The GW one, Art Coat?
Yeah, Art Coat. Yeah. That
Art
should work just fine.
With AK, that's what I use.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first, boys. Not on the other podcast. We will put a pin in the Get Good Banter because they hate it, and they've publicly said that they wish we didn't do it. So, I mean, it might slip out, but until I get confirmation that they're not boring cunts, I'm gonna stop. All right. And we don't need much. We do just the smallest joke. Somebody else who listens to them, because apparently our listeners just 100% listen to the same thing. I don't need much to work with here. Okay, good. Just a fucking little hint that you're not really, really boring is all I need. Okay. Now I'm even saying you don't like it is fine, because then I'll know, and then I won't be like they're boring. I'll just be like, he doesn't like me, and that's fine. I can handle that a lot better than I can now. Do you want to do Faction Feud, or should we just knock it on the head and call it a day? Faction, Taskmasters and Thought of the Day?
Let's do that, yeah, and leave. How long is the episode already?
1 hour, 36 minutes, and 32 seconds.
Okay, let's do then Taskmasters and Thought.
Thought, of course. 1, 2, 8. 1 through 8.
5.
5. Fucking hell. Oh, God. This is my more positively bullshit that I do. Right. I think I spoke to you now about this. Maybe it was you, or it might have been my daughter. Possibly also my wife. The concept of I've never had a bad day in my life. Okay?
Yeah, we literally talked about it
good.
A couple of days ago.
It's annoying that I think you're my wife. So, Martin.
I fulfill a lot of roles.
More than my wife. And I don't know if we dived into it deeply. So, someone goes, I'm having a bad day. And I was like, what? What do you mean you're having a bad day? And they were like, my day's just been awful. I'm having a terrible day. I was like, this is inwardly. I was like, I don't know how can you have a bad day? And she was like, well, fucking hell, water got splashed on me at work. I ruined my favorite dress. And now some other shit had just happened. I was like, well, you're not having a bad day. You had some bad things that happened to you, but your day, why is your day ruined because of it?
It sounds like semantics.
Well, she believed that her day had been ruined by these things. Right. And other people had similarly, I've heard it, but I'd never quite clocked that somebody could admit to having a bad day. So that was it. That was the thought of the day. Bad days don't exist, basically. If you think that bad days can exist, then maybe they can. But really, you had one isolated thing that happened to you that wasn't good, and you're still alive.
It reminds me a little bit. It's funny when people find connections, which is very sensible. Well, it's logical that you would do that. You would think like 3 things happened that I'm not happy with. This is now what happened this day, instead of thinking about like how you didn't get run over by a car. But it reminds me a little bit of, this happened a few times when there was like, 4 famous people that someone I know knew of. Because I mean, people died. Like, people die all the time. And then there was like one celebrity died, and then another one, and then another one within the course of, I don't know, 2 weeks. And then I meet some friend, and they're like, what's going on, man? Like, all these people are dying. Like, what's going on? I was like, nothing's going on. What do you actually think this is a conspiracy or something? What do you mean by that? Like, this is there's thousands of people die all the time. You don't know about most of them, and you happen to know the names of like a few because they're famous. It's not really that much of a coincidence. Or it is absolutely a coincidence, is what I'm saying. It's not like actually. It's weird that they're like, "What's going on? It's crazy how many people are dying." Like, it's not that crazy.
It's just it's actually almost the normalest thing that could ever happen.
It's crazy normal. It's a little bit like that when it sucks when several bad things happen to you in a day. But making that sort of almost like a label to it.
The labels I don't like, as you know. Although we are the best podcast. So, I thought though, on the flip side, let's just say, in the morning you get an email and you've lost your job, and it was the job you loved more than anything. Okay, it's your favorite job you've ever had. They give you cake, money, and sexual advances, but you can't act on them by some people in the office.
Best job ever.
It would be, it really, really would be. And then Tina would be like, "Why are you so happy?" We're like, "Another girl cracked on me today. What are you worried about?" Then are you having a bad day?
Yeah, there's a danger of labeling it a bad day, but because then you miss on the good day stuff.
Admittedly, you are put in a worse mood. But I've lost many a job, and I've got many a job, and I've also lost a lot of money. Okay, take that one out, because edit that. No. Because that is definitely, you do actually have a bad day then. So maybe it's a chemical imbalance on these people who say they have bad days. When I've lost those jobs, I'm not annoyed at the day, and there's still other good shit that's happening. But for a few, or whatever I remember, and I'm like, oh, that was annoying.
I think the bad day refers to your mood. Is a bad day in the sense of the mood, right?
I mean, a bad mood. It can be the most normal day of your life, and you still got a bad day because you're in a rut.
Yeah, it's like you have a bad day. It is. It's not the day that is bad.
No, I never thought the day was bad. I thought that they're having a bad day, and I realised it's probably just my my predisposition for happiness. That means that most days aren't bad, even when bad days. You know, and when you lose your job, you're like, well, yeah, okay, that's annoying. And don't get me wrong, like, there are things that can happen which will spoil your mood for the whole day, and probably actually some weeks. Dare say months.
I mean, if my car was the one that was wrecked when we were playing Hero Quest, I would not have done the next game, like 100% for sure.
What, you wouldn't have gone home and played?
No, in a million years, I would have gone. Like, you had your car wrecked, and then we went home and we played and we laughed. If
honestly,
my car
I forgot
was that car.
Yeah,
I would have. That game would not happen.
What? So that would be just like the end of your day, or now? That would be, you're done with that day.
I mean, I would definitely not go play Hero Quest.
Well, what would you actually do then? I'm curious now.
Just go home, I guess.
Well, yeah, I would go home.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You're like, I'm going home.
I mean,
and
to be
for the
fair,
rest of this,
it was like 10 at night. So
yes, that is true. It was the perfect
home,
time for Hero Quest.
And then that day would be. So what if your car crashed early in the day? Would that still be like, I need to process this thing with anger and resentment?
Probably not, but it would take a couple of hours or 3 to stop. Yeah, to stop
hating the world. Yeah,
of course.
That's fair. You gotta cope with it the way you gotta cope with it. I feel like, Jamie, you're very good at coping with things by either not or embracing everything in the most positive way possible.
I think it's because everything works out. So
yeah, but it's an insane but somehow accurate motto, is what it is.
Yeah, it isn't. But this is actually a good point. So everything works out, but I don't have a car now. I just bought the car and I loved it. So it's like, fuck. Now I have to look for another car and spend more money. So it's so many inconveniences that, yeah, of course, when I go through them, yeah, everything will work out after I solve them. but I still have to solve all the things. And I know that I will be okay 2 years later. Of course I will be.
Like a slow recovery.
Yeah.
Well, or 5 or 3 months.
No, I get you.
But it's still, I still have to go through a lot of inconvenience, and I'm annoyed because I have to go through all this inconvenience.
But think about what you gain from it. You this car is immortalized in your head now. You that car that you fucked up that you had and you loved.
You know,
you will
how
always
more
love
immortalized would it be?
You
know how more immortalized would it be if it was in front of my door?
Yeah.
That's very
no, but that doesn't, like, I've got cars in my head that were the worst cars I've ever had, and I've had cars that I loved, and admittedly I never got any of them until, well, I've had it once before, but yeah. Those things aren't big deals. They're nothing. They're a mild footnote in your life. I know that it's
not a big deal. No one died, but they're inconvenience.
No, but inconvenience in what? Like, if you an inconvenience is, I've lost a finger. That's an inconvenience, right? You're like, oh fuck.
Pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah.
So like, what? Even so, when your car got smashed in London, Jamie, that was like that barely deserves a reaction from you.
It's just something that happens in life. It's just another experience.
He was joking with the policeman, with the policewoman, and laughing. And
in fairness, I would have done that, but it would not have been a good experience. Like I wouldn't just be like, man, fuck it. I'm guessing you now have to have your car serviced and at your expense, or what's going to happen?
I need to find out if the guy if it was really, but I don't care. It will work out. Do you know what I mean? In a couple of weeks I'll remember, and I'll call up and chase, and then if I don't, they'll probably call me. And even if I don't do that, nothing. Even if I don't do anything and I pay for it, so what? Like, I'm not talking about like it's fine. It's nothing.
What would happen if instead of 1,500 was 50,000?
I'll be like, damn, that's annoying, but so what? In 10 years, I'll pay that off. Like, it's done.
I mean, 10 years.
What? My debt was 9 years. It's going to finish in August. I've not once in those 9 years thought, I can't wait till the end of 9 years. I've just been like, that's just the journey you're on, and it doesn't like it.
God damn.
Everything happens that will happen, right? Don't get me wrong. If I got in the car and all my family's killed and I end up with no legs, okay, I will be like, fuck. I wish I had have done a shit before we left, because then we wouldn't have had that crash. So there's going to be things in life that you're like, but I mean, you may as well maybe not be alive at that point. I'd probably rather have died in the car. But like, yeah, it's too extreme of an example, because that is life altering, right? And that is changing a lot of stuff in your life. No legs, for fuck's sake. And I won't meet a new girl at that point. And I've had the snip. So the whole family's dead. I've got no chance of meeting new women. I'll have to really engross myself in painting. So, yeah. It all works out, basically. The car crash, everything, like, they're not inconveniences. They're only as inconvenient as you feel they are.
I think there's a danger with this attitude, but there's also something very, very good about it. The danger is if you never learn from anything, and if you forget or ignore when something is actually your. What's that?
You do though. You're not just like.
No, but like, there's a danger if you say like, oh well, it is what it is. This happened. Move on. If you say that about like a parking ticket, as I know you have, and like I had a very minor accident with a car when it was a rental car, and I backed into a thing, and I had to pay a fine. And I remember, and I just thought of it now because you were talking about this thing with your car, and literally my whole reaction was like, ugh. And then I just paid the money. And I would much rather not have paid that money, but it didn't really get to me that much, because that was the end of that story, was just me paying a fine, and was like, ugh, that was a really unnecessary thing. Fuck it. And then I just thought like, well, it is what it is. I wish that happened, but there's so many other better things.
You don't try and get fines either, right? Oh, right. Sorry.
Was that?
No, go on.
Oh no, that was in the thing I had. They don't have risk. waive. I couldn't choose to have all of the, what's it called? The damages waived. It was only.
Oh, I see.
reduced fees.
It's not a deposit, but it's basically a deposit.
Yeah. But anyway, if I do something where someone else is affected, and I fail, like my girlfriend in one way or another, and she gets upset, if I have the same attitude of like, well, it is what it is, that makes me a piece of shit.
Yeah, but you don't have that attitude.
No, I don't. I know. I'm saying
no. I'm saying with everything works out doesn't mean you admit all responsibility and you just go around life not calling work, not calling doctors if you cancel an appointment. Like that's not the point.
Everything works out.
Yeah, you're not suddenly a reprimand. Anything that affects me that doesn't upset me, I don't care.
Yeah.
My dad's fuming, like, you've got to do this. Albert's incensed when the car crashed into me. Like, I gain nothing from having feelings other than for that thing. Now, don't get me wrong, that money that I've lost, I could have put into something I love, savings, Magic the Gathering, really. But I don't lose anything. Obviously, it's different if I have 100 quid in my bank and I can't pay rent or I can't eat, right? Or I can't pay my bills. That's different. So at that point, that's not, it will be all right. I mean, actually, yeah, it will probably still be all right. But it still has an impact more in your life then. But yeah, like, I mean, I've never had a situation where something didn't work out. It's just a long enough period. You just have to you don't be so siloed in so anyway, all those inconveniences, they're not inconvenient. They're just something you've got to do. It doesn't matter.
But I would rather not.
Yeah, but you have to. So why think about it?
I know. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I'm more like you than not like you. I don't worry too much about all these things. But I still would be annoyed that my car is fucked.
So Jamie, here's another question. And I know how I feel about this, but when you don't get particularly annoyed at the thing that happened with your car, but Albert does, do you appreciate that as like empathy, or do you just think that it's unnecessary?
Unnecessary.
Do you just
empathy?
Think,
like, why? Don't be annoyed. I'm not annoyed. How can you be annoyed about something?
Right. Yeah.
Like there's things to be annoyed about, right? Like racism, homophobia. Get annoyed about those things. No, but really, there's I think there's things to get annoyed about, and then there's basically like a billion other things to not get annoyed about. And money is the last thing you should ever be annoyed about. Yeah, like if someone broke into my entire house and stole everything, all the stuff I have, the money and everything, the thing I'd miss the most would be the memories I have on my computer, not the things that are worth money. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, oh fuck, that was basically my retirement. It will still work out. AI will come along. The only thing that probably won't work out is global warming.
Yeah, I think that one is not going to work out in the official with regards to the official motto of the podcast. Everything will work out. I actually think
global warming,
the species will not.
Yeah.
So,
but again, really, that's fine, because if all humans die, it still works out.
Oh yeah, planet Earth is going to be.
Unless we fucked it, but I think it could recover. If we were dead, tonight,
I think it'll recover. Yeah,
a couple of 100 years, it'll be like, oh, actually, I don't know what happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So fuck it. The inconvenience that you talk about are only as important as you want them to be.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But also, I look at it from another point of view of, how my work. My effort in my work impacts directly on my earnings.
Yeah.
So that means that I will have to put more effort in my work. So it's like a ripple effect of things. And I will not be able to do other stuff because, I depend more on my money and I earn it in a more difficult way, so it impacts me in a lot more ways.
But that just literally means that you don't yet believe in it, in the saying.
No, I actually believe in it. I just know that it's through my effort that everything turns out okay.
Yeah, but it has to be through your effort.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I wish I didn't have to put all this unnecessary effort that I didn't have to put 3 minutes ago.
We spoke about this though. Like,
yeah, we did length.
Wouldn't you, Martin? Would you rather have £1 million that you'd find on the street? No, you get it. You win it in a competition or some shit. It's not like you steal it. Or over the next year, you work and you get £1 million. So the outcome's the same. One is no effort whatsoever, and the other is you've earned it and it's yours by right. Which would you rather?
This is a very example.
No, but that's fundamentally what it is, right? It's
not.
No, that was what I was asking you. Would you rather get it for nothing, or would you rather earn it?
No, it's. I put you a better example on this. You have £1 million that you've worked your ass off to get.
Yeah.
And in a heartbeat, you lose them because I don't know. You forgot something and it fell and a crash came burning and just whatever. And it destroyed your £1 million or euros or whatever. And then would you rather go back in time and remember?
This is a new one, but yeah, okay.
And you go back in time and remember that so you are able to fix it before it happens? Or you'd rather go 5 more years to get to the same point? I mean,
it defeats the point of that is the opposite of.
No, it's not.
Everything works out.
It's exactly what we are talking about. It's exactly what we're talking about.
No,
because what you're regretting is your stupidity. Is your chance of not doing something different.
No, but the point of the everything works out is not having those regrets. Martin, your thing is shaking again for some reason.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So it's like that's the whole point, though. Everything works out, and then all of a sudden you've got a fucking time machine. Where are you going to stop? I'll go back and not make that mistake.
No, but it's just a one-off time machine.
Right, I see. A wizard pops out of nowhere and says, "Look, if this is," and it will never happen again.
Yeah, of course, it's a fucking hypothetical.
Yeah, I would then fine. I would go back and not have. I'd park somewhere else. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, but that doesn't prove like it doesn't change my output. Like, because then if it's a one-off thing, yeah, I'll go and rectify things that went wrong. But the point is, overall arching, my concept is like everything will work out.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
I know that everything will work out. The fuck? It's pretty loud.
How is it? Right, sorry.
I know everything will work out, but I wish I didn't have.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I don't. I don't. The thing is, this implies that you regret it. Yeah,
because a minute ago I didn't have to, right? A minute ago I had this £1 million in my pocket that I already earned. And now for a chance, I need to work it out again. And yes, of course, it will work out.
Right. Yeah,
but I just wish I didn't have to work on it again.
I lost out on about £1.5 million by 50p. Okay, in 2018 or 19, and I don't have regrets about that. So I think what we're talking about is more about regretting, because I'm aware, I remember it, right? Which means that it impacted me. I remember it, but I don't think, oh fuck, I wish I had have done X to get more. It was basically like on a CFD, a stock thing. I put like 17 grand into Pfizer, similar, I can't remember, and it was worth like, I think I bought it 11p, and it went up to 200 quid. Okay, and so. But I don't feel guilty that I didn't put 17,050p, because that's when it stopped out, right? It went over by that. And I'm like, it was just an experience that I did. It taught me but to keep trying.
It's still not the same, because you never had that money. what I'm. You know what? You see the difference.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, the concept.
My thing is, you were right, and now for a chance you are wrong, and things will go right again. But the fact that it changed from right to wrong.
Yeah, but the question shouldn't be, can you reverse it? The question should be, will you regret it? Because nobody in their sane mind wouldn't reverse that, right?
No, I know, and I'm not gonna lose years crying over anything. I'll just be annoyed.
Yeah, no, I'd have probably 1 month of severe anger and depression or whatever around that, because my wife hates my guts now because I just lost £1 million. But instantly, as soon as I lost it, my view would be, I can get it back again. 5 years is not the end of the world. 5 years is almost nothing. What I'd regret is if I had £5,000 in my pocket and I had to pay a medical bill and I couldn't afford it. And then I'd chastise my own self for not maybe having more money, saving better. Losing a large amount of money that you don't need isn't gonna. You can't have regrets over that. You just be like, well, fuck.
But that's a fundamental issue that we are talking about. I'm talking about something that you do need.
Okay, cool. Let's say I needed that money. Then I would just be like, right, what can we do now? I wouldn't be like,
yeah, but I would do that too.
Good.
I'm not saying that I will not. This is the worst episode or finishing whatever. But I'm not saying that I would not fix it. I would, obviously, but I would be annoyed. It's just the fact that being annoyed at this is so natural. Obviously, it doesn't take away me fixing it. Or anything that happens, and any setback that you have, being annoyed at it is not bad. It's not acting on it that is bad. But I could be annoyed and still fix it.
And my point is, obviously, everyone has their natural things and their things that annoy them. My point is, if you're able, remember that it all works out, and then you will lower or increase your tolerance on these things. That's the point of everything works out. It's not to give you a trick into just avoiding.
I know.
Yeah. So like I'm going through some shit with Tina right now, and which I didn't know about mine, by the way. This came out of the blue, out of nowhere. She was just like, by the way, we need to do some shit because this isn't working for me. And I was like, but literally 2 weeks ago, you were like, this is the best time of our lives. So I need to work out that. But when I was thinking and going through the different scenarios on we break up, we have the kids, we blah, blah, blah. I was like, but it will work out. Like everything will work out. Whatever happens in that situation, I know what I would rather have happen. But if it doesn't happen to what I want to happen, I'm like, it will work out. Like, nothing bad will happen. It will just be a difference, right? So like, we're not married anymore. That's bad on paper, and it is bad. I'd rather it didn't happen, but also it's not bad. Like, you know, it will be a different reality on the road. It's like timelines from the MCU. You're just on a different timeline, and if you want to be annoyed by that, then you can. Or if you want to just go, yeah, everything works out, and this is where I'm going to be. Life's a lot easier. That's the crux of it. Now, not can you reverse £1 million and keep.
No, I know.
Yeah, I know.
You know how I am.
We spoke about it already, right?
Yeah. I'm not especially annoyed at anything, and I go through things. But still, it's like, I wish it didn't happen. You know, fuck.
Yeah. I smashed my 1 meter avatar, the 3D print.
You did?
Yeah, like 2.5 years ago. I threw a tea towel into the kitchen and it landed on his sword.
Oh, of course. I knew. I thought you were talking about a new thing. You've told me about the tea towel.
And I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to print that all again.
Yeah.
But that's a mild inconvenience. Right, boys. Oh, Taskmasters. Is there even any point after that last 20 minutes of...
I don't remember where I am anymore. That was just the most...
I enjoyed it.
Just 45-minute TED talk about. It was good philosophical.
It literally
deep
was
dive.
only about 12 minutes
It's about 12 minutes. Yeah.
from start to finish.
Should we?
Yeah.
So Taskmasters is. I've not had a great idea. I'm a little stressed with commission work, so I've not
Indeed.
done any Taskmaster stuff. Have you guys started on yours?
No,
I haven't yet, which is not great.
we haven't spoken about it. We didn't talk about it at all in last episode. So that's why I wanted to remind.
We are the 17th of April already, so we have half a month.
Less.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it will. Everything will work out, right?
It literally will. So,
It actually
right, good.
absolutely
Cheers,
will.
guys. No, but anybody who doesn't know the Taskmaster, it is to create a base. Any kind of base you want, scenic base, big base, small base. Ideally, bigger is better than a 28mm with some sand on. In fact, I think we dare say that you can't do that.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
If it's possible, make it as beautiful as possible. Just having a base without any character.
Yeah, you can put critters on it though, small animals.
Yes.
Wow, it is good to be back. That is, of course.
Do you have any? Just. Do you have any idea? Like any whatsoever?
Me personally, don't want to spoil it for everyone. I do have an idea. It's just going to be an arty-farty little twatty foresty vibe because I've wanted to do that for a while.
Okay.
I threw away all my real trees though. My mum took them to school. I'd had them in the loft for like 4 or 5 years, dried out, perfect. Like she took them to school because the kids would want them. Didn't bring them back.
Okay. Cool.
I need to find an
kind of an
uprooted
idea.
tree. Yeah.
I've got probably some, what's the word? Some material, some stuff that I could start building from. So I might do that. I guess I've had ideas for bases for actual products, and I could potentially try those out without the model. This seems like a good use of this Taskmaster.
I know.
Except, of course,
said you
the
don't.
point of Taskmasters is to not have a point.
Yeah. Well, I thought of doing an indoor,
That's cool.
Like a football
That's very cool.
pitch.
which I'm not sure if I'll do, or something. I don't know, a little bit different. I haven't done. I like forest bases, but I've done a lot of them.
Yeah.
So probably something
Would be quite boring.
with wood
Indoor
or
sounds cool.
with I don't know.
Should we cut out all that conversation, do you think?
No, God, no.
I mean, I could just
That's
cut out like
thoughts.
12 minutes of it.
No, thought of the day. Conversations around thought of the day. This is important.
Good. 2 hours, 7 minutes, boys. It might be our new longest episode. Thank you for joining. Thank you for Get Good, for being good sports and always matching my banter. And thank you two.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Yeah.
We've actually got a Patreon now.